How is everyone doing today? Hello, 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 everyone, and welcome to Authors Excerpt Sunday podcast, where our special guest is Manal El-Ramly, and she is a beautiful author. She is an engineer, an entrepreneur, a spiritual seeker, a TEDx speaker, okay? And she is a teacher and an author. And, I wanted to have her on my show, and she is here. And she is here to share her word about her book and her life and her story and and all her writing expertise is here with us today. So welcome everyone. Manal El-Ramly. Hi, how are you doing today?
Fantastic. Thank you for such a beautiful introduction.
Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome. Oh my goodness. It is a pleasure to be here. It's a pleasure to have you here with me today. I want to say welcome to Authors Excerpt Sunday podcast. And don't you tell the audience a little bit more about yourself that I did not share that you would like to share?
Fabulous. It's exciting to be here. And thank you, Cherise, for holding the space for authors in such a beautiful way. And you've synthesized a little bit of everything. I have an engineer's mind. I'm very analytical and I'm always trying to get to the root cause. And mathematics and sciences was what I always did well in school, even though that was a lifetime ago.
Mhm.
And I was a seeker since day one, a seeker. Why? Why are we here? Why
Mhm.
is your life as it is? And why is my life as it is? Why are some people living life that's perceived to be so easy and so abundant and so flowing, while other people in different parts of the world appear to have really a lot of suffering and struggling? That how do you unify the story? And so over my life, I've just been blessed with the opportunity to see, and I say see, I'm like pointing at my third eye for anybody that's just listening and not watching. Just be able to see and to understand that we're on this beautiful human journey. We're humans, we're humaning. And i've I've had been as an insight timer teacher, meditation teacher, and a TED Talk speaker, as you said, an author. Had the opportunity to sort of look and try to determine what that framework is. What's going on. So I think you've answered everything describing my journey. I'm a seeker, I'm an engineer, I'm a questioner, and I'm a mother of 3 children, which have been fantastic helping me develop a greater self-awareness, self-growth, and respect and love for the human journey.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. And the title of her book is Transcending Anxiety from Fear to Freedom. Transcending Anxiety from Fear to Freedom. That is the title of her book. So, Manal, what, what possessed you to really get into writing this book?
Sharice, it's a really good question. And a lot of people are like, Manal, anxiety? Like, why are you talking about anxiety?
Mhm.
Let me just rewind a tiny bit. And I had some life experiences that caused me to search to understand. It was one of the, like, there's obviously we all have different life events, and there's just a few in the last 7 years that were pivotal in making me like really look and try to calibrate internally rather than externally, because
Mhm.
ultimately life and our self-awareness is about internal calibration.
Yes.
In this internal calibration, I was listening to Insight Timer all the time and listening to meditations and listening to teachers and and one day I said, wait, I can do this. I can do this. When I'd listen to the teachers, they'd bring me a lot of peace, but sometimes I'd hear in their voices resistance. Sometimes I would hear words that says, "Oh, you took me somewhere and then all of a sudden you made me human again." And I was critical, not critical in a mean way, but like self-aware of and observe. So I just created that one day a domain. I put myself on Inside Timer. Recorded a bunch of meditations and talks, and then in there I started to get these like clarity on frameworks and clarity on how to decipher and unify the human experience and how to describe what we're going through. And
Mhm.
so in there I started to create my little Mattain. Manal means attainment.
Mhm.
And so I created the company Mattain, put an M in front of attainment, so Mattain, and so it means attaining the life you desire.
Mhm.
So one day I said, oh, now it's time to write a book. I have all of these processes, I have all of these systems, I have all of these frameworks, I have these methods. So and then I said, well, I didn't know if I was ready. I don't want to say the readers, I want to say if I was ready to call it Mattain or call it surrender or call it some of these concepts that are really what it's all about. And so I decided to go to something anxiety. It crosses socioeconomic boundaries, cultural boundaries, age. Everybody can experience and use the word anxiety. And so I felt that I was using a a way to universally speak to people. So
Mhm.
that's how I created or came up with the concept of transcending anxiety.
Oh, okay. That sounds very interesting. And during your process of writing this book, what kind of what process did you use to compose your book?
Okay, it was a very strong download. I almost wanted to like throw it up. Like when I'm coaching, sometimes I'll be like, blah, the story or blah, your emotions. I have some fun ways that I sort of like help us bring out what's within us. It was
Mhm.
almost like a blah.
Mhm.
I just would, I talk about, okay. In my book, I have the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 system. It's a framework, it's the Mattain Method, and it's a 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 system. There's 5 steps. So I have identified 5 steps that we can work through any, I don't like using the word trigger, but I'll use it. Any trigger, any event, any resistance that we have within our body
Yes.
and within I believe we have 4 bodies. So 5 is 5 steps. 4 is the 4 bodies, the physical body, the emotional body, the mental body, and the egoic body. And I believe we're here as humans, and this is what I teach, to calibrate to our inherent, unconditional, infinite worthiness, freedom, and love. So I believe that anything that occurs in life is for us to remember, to recalibrate, to
Yes.
reconnect with our unconditional, infinite, inherent worthiness,
Yes.
love, and freedom. So as I wrote the book, I I had to frame the 4 bodies. And within the 4 bodies, I would frame anxiety is unacknowledged fears of the future. So I'm not acknowledging. So I had to discuss what the universal fears are. So there's 3 universal fears, and they are associated with our 3 universal desires. And then, so that's 5 steps, 4 bodies, 3 fears or 3 desires, 2 states, having it or not having it, having the fear or having of not being free or having the freedom, having the anger or sadness or having love. So it's 2 states. And anytime you feel something negative, it's driving you towards the state of desire. So if you stop and you say, oh, this is a trigger, and it's something that we don't want, then we can look and flip the coin to see what we want. So 2 states, and then ultimately it's one truth. And I always laugh at myself because when I talk about the one truth, I say so many things, but we are whole. The truth of I am, the truth of our infinite nature, the truth of our infinite beauty. So it's the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So I wrote the book in a way that was logically progressing through understanding anxiety is unacknowledged fear of the futures, how to read it and decipher it within your 4 bodies, the 5 steps that you go through, understanding your 3 fears, the 2 states, and the one truth.
Okay. All right. I'm sitting. I am sitting here, and I'm sitting, and I'm listening, and I'm like, okay, she's teaching me so much right now. And so, how long did it take you to write this book?
The first sitting of like having something that I called a book, I think this
Mm-hmm.
was about 3 months. And I
Mm-hmm.
was just going nonstop, just writing, reshaping it. I,
Mm-hmm.
I really approached it like an engineer. And that's why lately, at the beginning, everybody's like, who are you? You're not a psychologist. You're not a psychiatrist. You're not a doctor. Even my mom's like, what are you doing? You can't do this.
Yeah.
And then when I'm like, oh, I can. And I did.
Mm-hmm.
I can, I did, and now as I spin it as an engineer's mind with a spiritual um heart or a spiritual guide, it
Yes.
starts to there's a oh okay, it's a approach to spirituality from a processing time. So it took about 3 or 4 months, Cherise, to just blah the book, and
Mm-hmm.
then I had my beta readers read it from the ages of 17 to 70. So I
Mm-hmm.
had like my son's friends read it and
Okay.
and apply it when he's going out onto the basketball court and would feel a sense of anxiety. Instead of breaking down to it, he's like, oh, I just recognized that my body was talking to me and I heard the sensations of it, and it didn't take me over. I just sort of like would breathe and ground into it. And a 70-year-old, maybe she's in her 60s, if that, that read it and was looking at retirement and said that there was a lot of fears that she was holding towards her future and the uncertainty of it. And this book again helped her just reframe as a flowing or an allowing of the unfolding of life, and recognizing that anxiety were fears, unacknowledged fears, and just simply acknowledging them, Cherise, simply
Yes.
acknowledging them
Mm-hmm.
releases you. It
Yeah.
releases you. So I
Yeah.
had my beta readers read it for a few months. And then now actually I'm revising the book and going through with an editorial process.
Mhm.
So I don't even know if I can give you a time span. It's not like the 9 months that you carry a baby in spurts.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Mm-hmm. Okay.
It's a never ending journey, I feel.
Oh, okay. That is so, I could understand that, well, when fear overtakes us, that we sometimes have to sit back and be like, um, maybe I'm overreacting, or maybe I'm putting too much fear into overthinking it.
Yes.
And sometimes we have to, sit back and observe, okay, I'm feeling this certain way, but it's not that serious to overreact the way I'm overreacting about it, about certain situations. And um, okay, that must be a plane flying over. Is that what I'm hearing? Oh, okay, okay. So
Sorry, I can't control them.
hey, look, you're right. So in this process of you writing this book, um, it is it is a thing of finding the time. So was time a influential factor of you writing the book?
Cherise, I have like a lovely relationship with time. I try to let go, and it's actually in the book as well, to let go of the concept of time.
Mm-hmm.
And I choose and have the fortune of sort
Mm-hmm.
of allowing.
Mm-hmm.
But as I say that, yes, time, I did have deadlines that I self-imposed and wanting to finish it and wanting to get it to the beta readers and wanting to get it published and during the editorial page of getting all the edits done and going. So although I try to spiritually let go of the concept of time,
Yes. Uh-huh.
time can be exhausting.
Yes, it can.
Yes.
Can. Yes, ma'am. Yes. So, um, in our time we have here, um, would you read us an excerpt from your book, for us, please?
I would love to. And I'm going to show the book cover.
Mhm.
It's
That's
right here,
beautiful.
Transcending Anxiety from Fear to
Beautiful.
Freedom. Thank you, Manal El-Ramly, my name. And I've chosen to focus on a section about the four bodies. I
Mhm.
think I know
Mhm.
that simply by acknowledging our multidimension self, our
Mhm.
four bodies, it
Yes.
helps to simplify a
Mhm.
lot of the expressions that we go through and a lot of the unfolding of life. So I'm
Ye-
going to share an excerpt that talks about the four bodies as symphony of self.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, fantastic. Imagine your four bodies as instruments in an orchestra. The physical body is percussion, grounding us in the tangible world through sensations and experiences. The emotional body is the strings, resonating with the full spectrum of human feelings. The mental body is the brass, providing structure and clarity through thought and processing. And the egoic body is the woodwinds, weaving the melody of our identity, beliefs, and ideologies. When these instruments are in harmony, the music of our lives flows smoothly, creating a symphony of balance and well being. However, when one instrument is out of tune, the entire orchestra is affected and the music becomes discordant. This is what happens when anxiety strikes. The harmony between the four bodies is disrupted, like an orchestra playing out of tune, resulting in a cacophony of distress.
Okay. That sounds rhythmic because you used the instruments and you used each level. And I really like that. I really
Thank
like
you.
that. That was oh my, that was real good. I wanted to say, so in your writing, thank you for reading your excerpt. Thank you for reading your excerpt of your from your book. I want to say, as a author, what would be your advice to inspiring authors?
Follow your passion,
Mhm.
believe in yourself, trust the unfolding,
Mhm.
find your inspiration. And ultimately, that comes from the alignment of your four bodies. When you believe in yourself in your egoic body, and you create an intention in your mental body, and you open up to your passions and your pleasures in your emotional body, your physical body will flow with allowing and do all of the things that you want with ease. Charisse, there's times that I need to do things and I don't do them. It could be things as simple as laundry,
Mhm.
dishes, posting something on social media, writing the book. I've known for forever I'd be an author. There's times that I do nothing.
Mhm.
However, when I'm in alignment
Mhm.
and when I'm ready to flow with life and just serendipitously excited about everything that's happening, things
Yes.
happen with ease. You
Yeah.
meet the right people, you sit down and you don't work, you're actually playing. So
Yeah.
for anybody's out there that has any dream, whether it's being an author and whether it's being a singer, whether it's being whatever it might be,
Mhm.
just take care in loving your bodies,
Mhm.
loving yourself,
Yes.
trusting yourself, and everything will unfold with ease and flow and beauty.
Yes. Yes. I know that's right. Sometimes I get like that a lot, where I just relax. I
Yeah.
give my mind a break, and I'm not rushing to do this and rushing to do this. Oh, I got laundry to do today. I gotta go cook this dinner, and I'll be like, I take a breath, and I'll be like, it'll get done when I get to it. And sometimes I don't, like you say, you just don't do anything, just relax. because that gives our minds a break from running, from always, you know, like a Ferris wheel. It's always like, hamster on the wheel. It's always turning, turning, turning. You'd be like, okay, I'm just gonna slow down. I'm gonna jump off this Ferris wheel today. I'm gonna jump off this wheel and just be still for a minute. And sometimes that is good for our spirits, for our mental, our physical, our emotional, our spirits, And so in this time frame, you know, as you are an author, what do you see? Where do you see yourself in 5 or 10 years?
Oh, that's a big one. I see myself having written a few more books.
Mhm.
I'm on, and I actually am working on a few picture books right now as well. And continuing, I just love watching myself and others become free and living life from a place of joy and happiness and inner peace and love and adventure and fun. So I see myself actually on stage. I see myself bringing people together on Insight Timer. My followers, I say the word followers because that's the word they use on Insight Timer, are like, Manal, let's do something. Let's have a conference, bring us together. I see myself flying. I see myself in Australia. I see myself in the UK and New Zealand, all the main cities in Canada and the US, and just going on there and being with people that are looking to celebrate life and celebrate our humanness together.
Okay, I know that's right. You like to travel, and it's good to get out and meet other people,
Mhm,
and um go other places that we've never been before, and be
mhm,
explorative about our minds, our
mhm.
bodies, and our souls. So, Manel, where can the people find you on social media and on your website?
Fabulous. People can find me I'm on all social media, Instagram as Manal by Mattain by Manal.
Mhm.
Sorry, Mattain by Manal. I'm on Instagram, I'm on YouTube, and I'm on Facebook. And my website is www.mattain, that's Mattain.com.
Okay.
On
Oh,
Insight Cameras, I'm known as Manal Mattain, Mattain. Essentially, if you put Manal and
mhm.
Mattain together
Yes.
in any variety, you will find me.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yes.
So,
Yeah.
so, what upcoming events do you have coming up where we could come and support you, like book signings or other events do you have coming up?
Charisse, I invite your listeners to come to my website and join, and they will get emails about what upcoming events. I
Mhm.
am on Insight Timer Live weekly,
Okay.
and we have a fantastic community tribe. I call it the Mattain Tribe,
Mhm.
and we laugh and we cry and we giggle and we joke and we talk together and
Mhm.
just grow using all of the Mattain Method framework that we were talking about.
Yes.
And yeah, so join us on Insight Timer, come to my website, be part of our mailer, and you'll find out about all my events because there'll be big events with the book as well with it.
Oh, okay. All right. And so my last question will be for you is where can we purchase the book?
Fantastic. It is on Amazon. So if you go to Amazon,
Mhm.
Transcending Anxiety from Fear to Freedom, Manal El-Ramly, you will find me. I
Mhm.
really appreciate after you love the book.
Yeah, that's a
After you love it, that you provide a review because that helps it. If you don't like it, don't worry about it.
yeah.
But I expect you to love it. And then when you love it, a review is fantastic. But on Amazon, you can find the book. And I really encourage your readers of all ages and wherever you come from.
Mhm.
And I don't always call what I have anxiety. So you don't need to identify with anxiety for the book to help you because it
Yeah.
just talks about the sensations of your physical body, your emotional body, your mental body, your egoic body, and breaks it down. So yes, on Amazon, my book can be found.
All right, everyone, you have heard it here. Manal El-Ramly, as she is our guest today on Authors Excerpt Sunday podcast. And you need to go get this book because I have read the summary. I have gone and I'm always an avid researcher. So I was out. You all know me that I always look for everything about the author when they come on the show, and the book is off the chain, so you need to go get the book. Okay, do not hesitate because it will help you in your mind, body, and soul. Title of the book is Transcending Anxiety from Fear to Freedom by Manal El-Ramly. Yes, it has been a pleasure to have you here today, Manal, and I would love for you to come back. If you want to talk about your other books. How many other books have you published, ma'am?
This is my first one, Cherise. I have 3 picture books in the work, and then I'm going to work on another nonfiction that's going to come out this year.
Okay, well, you gotta come back and tell us about the other
I
books.
would love to.
Okay. All right. Thank you, everyone, for coming in today for Authors Extra Sunday podcast with my special guest, Manal El-Ramly. I thank you all for coming in. Now, come back again now. You hear? Love you, and talk to y'all on the next Authors Excerpt Sunday podcast. Thank you, everyone. Talk to you later.